Hello, Four Eyes. How you doing, my gins? It is super late. I'm still excited. Um, I'm I'm consorting with my spiritual goons. I'm consorting with my conciliaries and my spiritual goons and everything. So anyway, man, I just I know. I'm on this guy's jock real quick, man. I do understand that. And I completely understand. I think there are some people on my that have checked out some of my videos that do know who EA Koetting is. Um, Speaking of which, my name is Seth. All due respects, also known as Lucifer, and spiritual and business consultant. If it's your first time joining my channel, welcome. Um, I do understand that I'm on that guy's job for a minute, but I gotta do it again. I gotta do it again because this guy, this EA Koetting here. The thing is, I've just listened to somebody that's in his community, in his personal community, like a moderator on his channel, and he had a very interesting theory about draconians. I'm not gonna get into it. It was interesting. It was interesting. There's definitely something there to look at. So this EA coding guys is kind of a mystery to me. Um, and I'm not doing this because I want him on my channel, or I'm not saying that I don't want him on my channel. I'm not doing this because I'm trying to gain his attention. I'm not even gonna put his name in the title. I think out of respect for you and him. So what I'm trying to do, I'm just shooting the can with you guys right now. I'm trying to have a conversation here. Um, and this guy, there's something about, because I don't want to seem phony. I don't want to seem fake. I don't want this to be phony or fake. I want this to be as organic and real as it can possibly be. And this guy obviously found a way to exit the matrix and still live within the perimeters of it. Kind of like what I'm trying to do too. And I don't know. I've never seen someone like that before. I've never heard or seen somebody like that before. I've never heard somebody speak that way or do the things he does apart from me and some other people that I don't personally know, obviously. But the thing that's more attracting or attractive, whatever, about him is the fact that he's fighting this war, and he's getting ready to fight this war. Um, I did say the word attractive for a reason, though. I did say the word attractive for a reason because he is. Um, Pause. But he has like okay. I'm sorry to make the correlation between the two, right? But I'm just trying to give you a quick and easy example, right? Like I'm always talking about duality, masculinity and femininity, and being two people at the same time within one body, right? Dolo has it too, obviously. And Dolo practices voodoo and some other form of witchcraft and astrology, right? And because of the voodoo and the astrology, I guess that's why he has a feminine aspect to himself. But compared to the feminine of Dolo is 5 times less attractive than EA's feminine side, which is kind of weird because that also shows you how powerful that this guy is. It's it's weird, you know. Cause the thing is, like me, I had an experience, and if any magicians or any form of occult art practitioner out, whether it's light or dark magic, whatever, if you feel what I'm about to say is wrong, please go right on ahead and say it. But me, um, I had an experience with Norse gods, right? And I always had this thesis that one of the steps that you need to undertake before becoming a fully realized God is being able to connect with your femininity, right? Having blue, that blue color, the blue area. You see, like in Street Fighter, there's this character named Gil, right? And he's the leader of the Illuminati, and one side of his body is red, and the other side is blue. One is hot, one is cold. One is also male, pure passion energy, and one is female, maternal, you know, pure sensitive, pure consciousness, pure sensitivity, pure mind opening. Um, as of red being pure passion, pure action, right? Well, guided action, arrow like pinpoint precision action, right? Um, and when you fuse the two together, it explodes like a fusion bomb, which creates magic, ether, and all of those things. And so I'm looking at this guy. I'm not saying he's Gil from Street Fighter, you know. That's not what I'm saying at all. But you know, he obviously there's obviously something there, you know. And I know I'm kind of like sending a lot of you guys to check out his videos, which is fine because I understand that I'm a little bit more crude with the way that I, you know, suggest or explain things, or even the way that I provoke other, you know, so-called, you know, light workers. Um, so I kind of understand. I kind of understand if you feel like going out and checking out his channel. Obviously, you know, and I expect it anyways because I'm crude, you know, and he's not. You know, he explains it very calmly and thoroughly. You know, whatever he explains, whatever he chooses to explain, he explains it calmly and thoroughly. Um, I do that too sometimes, but not all the time. I'm very energetic. I'm very, I wanna go. You know, I'm an Aries, so I always wanna, you know, slam into walls for some reason. You know, so I understand if you go check out my channel. If you go check out my channel, I understand if you go check out his channel. I don't feel bad at all. If you want to have a conversation about, whatever's, he's talking about and stuff, I don't know. I don't care. Um, but I have to say this: in the coming months, I will be studying some of his books, and I have to admit that I'm pretty sure I'm gonna find a lot of the things that I'm thinking of, or that or that I have already spoken of in his book somewhere. Maybe not, but maybe so. He does a lot more demonology than I do. So on that part, I'd be very surprised if we find the same theories. But on everything outside of demonology, we might have the same theories. So I'm still gonna study his books just to see, because this new thing that he was already aware of, is something that I find to be very important and very life. It's apotheosis, as I've said before. It's a road to becoming a god, and that's what he's about. He's about apotheosis. And the thing about, like, Luciferianism is also um, part of the apotheosis. Well, not Lucifer, not like the belief in Luciferianism, but they do believe in apotheosis, right? But I think that it would still happen to you, even if it's either you reject the teaching, is there either you reject the apotheosis, which a lot of people do because it's scary, um, because it's scary shit. Period. You legit have to have the balls to go into apotheosis, and you're still gonna be in it, but in order to totally immerse yourself in apotheosis, it takes nuts to do that. Like, you have to be brave. You have to be courageous, because I understand that it's not easy. It's downright scary, you know. And thing and he's going through it too. And but what I think is awesome is that he's going through it the same way I'm going through it. Like, he's not like standing still and just absorbing blows from like he dishes them as much as he gets hit. So I like that. It's I like that, man. I freaking like that shit, dude. Like, like it's badass. It's badass. And okay, look, I did mention something about masonry on this channel. All right. Um, I wasn't targeting anybody in particular, but one person in particular that I did not hate is part of that so-called group. But I don't hate the guy because I see his heart. I see where his heart is, and he's kind of like a conduit in a kind of like a it's kind of like a conduit for different energies, and that's cool and all, bro. And I understand where it comes from, especially when you have like military background or you have some form of discipline. If you're somebody that's disciplined, you're going to like structure. And I like structure too. Um, I like building. I like creating. I like having a common goal, and I like that common goal to end up somewhere where it might be glorious. Where it might be, like me. I'm kind of like, I would like all of this to end up in a space where Athens, or we recreate Athens, or we recreate Mount Olympus, or we recreate a what's the name of that place? No, Alexandria, right? That's what I'm coming from, bro. I mean, sure, the Illuminati, that's how they feel that they live in, but they're not actually. I mean, they don't have their own land. They're invading other people's lands. Like they're going into different countries and they're invading and they're propagating themselves like a virus throughout the country. So they're not building anything. They're trying to parasite off of people. Like they're parasitic entities, and no puns intended or no offense meant for any actors that or artists that just wanted to make some shmoney. But the real dudes that do the real things, right? They're more parasitics. They're more parasitic. It's a parasitic program. They latch on to society and they go live in your neighborhood. They go take jobs in certain places and they basically fill up buildings and fill up houses, and their only point is to mess with people. So it's very parasitic. They even though they feel imperial themselves, right, on their everyday lives, they feel like that, right, but they don't actually live like that. Me, I want to actually live like that. I would like to create that. And I think the only way to actually create something like that is by having some form of structure. You know, um, I think that's the only way to do it. But of course, a lot of people do not agree with that statement, and I understand. And you have the right to your opinion. I have the right to my own. I don't agree, but I respect. I don't agree, and I respect. And it might not ever happen because there's so many people that agree with the contrary that now I'm at a place where I'm like, okay, this dream probably never gonna happen. Like I'm kind of like, I resigned myself from thinking like that, but it's always gonna be in the back of my mind, and I'm not gonna let that stop the progress of us. If all of like if the democracy, if the popular consensus dictates that we don't want to have imperialism, we want to just live free, away from each other, and blah blah blah. Well, it is what it is. As long as we don't have to deal, I guess we'll figure that out later. As long as we don't have to deal with Illuminati or crazy Mason people or crazy witches and money hungry witches and shit like that, then fine. I don't care. Let's do it your way. Uh, So yeah, man, I just and it's kind of cool. I mean, I feel left out a little bit. I feel left out a little bit. I feel left out a little bit because he started warring, and I had no idea that he was warring, bro. Like, and I kind of feel like I missed an opportunity there, man. You know, he started warring like 2015 or something like that. And I kind of feel like, shit, man. That's I should have been warring with these guys. Like, you know, I kind of feel bad, but I was never. It's my fault because I never actually read one of his books. I never actually read one of his books. I never, I always knew who he was, but I never read one of his books. And I always see it, and I was like, later, like, nah, later, like, yeah, I'll check it later, So, just desserts, you know. So, anyways, man, it's just so interesting. And to refer to what I was saying, I completely derailed there for a minute. To revert back to what I was saying with Norse mythology, it's kind of like most Norse gods are very in tune with the feminine side. The most powerful gods are in tune with their feminine side, right? And sometimes even some of the people that live in Asgard are kind of like, sometimes they look at the gods doing feminine things, and they're kind of like, uh what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean, bro? So it happens, even in Asgard, and they're like, what the fuck? And they let me know that, that happens, and it's weird, because I do it too, and we all do. Any metaphysical practitioner of any sort does that sometimes. They act like mothers. They say infeminate things, or they have it's we have another person living with us. We can, when a woman gets pregnant, she there's a baby that comes out. When a man like me gets pregnant, it's power that's you know creating itself. You know, um, so I see that this guy is he's pregnant. There's a power coming, or that's already there, and it's kind of badass. It's kind of badass, bro. Like, and I know that this guy helped me, bro. I mean, I made a video. I wasn't even. I just wanted to know, you know, my channel, because I channel when I'm by myself at home. I never tried channeling for YouTube. I've did it a couple times on Lucifer's Lounge. And it's and I don't really. I've done it on videos too, but it's not something I do it by myself, and I've never asked anybody. Like, I know that I just channeled something, but I don't know if other people know that I channeled something. I don't have. I never asked people, "Oh, did you see that?" or blah blah blah. So I just thought it was a good idea to say that. But it seems to me like this guy. I know today something or someone had a hand in what was going on, and the thing is, how did he know? Because you have to know, like, in order, you can't just do any spell and oh, everything goes great and shit, right? Like, that's not how that works. Like, you have to know precisely, what the problem is in order to fix the problem. So this guy, like, but he said it himself. He was going through the same processes. Of course, I have a bunch of videos saying what my problem is, but I could have been lying. You know, it could have. I could be lying. I could be. This could all be a front. You know. Um, so it's kind of weird. Like it's weird. So this guy probably saw something. He had enough trust in me to actually do something, whatever that thing is. I don't know if he did it. I don't think he did a spell. And the reason why I say I don't think he did the spell is because I know he's powerful, so he probably just commanded something into existence, or maybe he did a spell. I don't know. He probably commanded something into existence. He consorted with his spiritual goons in order to make something happen, something manifest, right? So, anyways, man, EA Coding, if you're listening, you're a fantastic person, man. You're a great guy. It's very humbling for me to thank somebody. It's I usually take care of everything myself. I usually take care of everything myself, and with my consorts, um, but I have to tell you, thank you. It was, you know, as hard as it is for me to say. Thank you. You're a great guy. You're an amazing person, and don't let anybody tell you the contrary. Um, you're an amazing person. You don't owe me anything. You don't know me. Of course, you could have done that to be strategic about it. You could have been very strategic about your move. Oh, I'm gonna help this guy, and then people are gonna think, blah blah blah. But you didn't owe me anything. You don't know who I am. You could have just said fuck off to my video, or not just nothing. You could have cursed me like Dolo did. You could have cursed me if you wanted to, like Godolo did, bro. That's you're pretty cool, man. You're cool, man. You're cool. And to add injury to insult, if you want to consider me part of your roster of magic practitioners or physicians, to fight this war, you I'm I'm willing and able. I'll be there when you need it. Uh, so yeah, you can consider me part of your group. I'm a loner, so you're gonna have to get used to my facial expressions, my disappointed facial expressions and shit. I'm a loner. I'm used to, you know, I'm a loner. Um, but yeah, man, yeah, I'm, if y'all doing something or whatever, I'm down with it. Um, so I guess that's enough fellatio for tonight. uh, I'll see you on the next video. Have a good one. Peace out.